We're all living longer these days, and things are changing quickly. AI, Zoom, and even telehealth. Are you afraid of losing what you've built? Are you going to let yourself become obsolete? Or are you going to be an entrepreneurial icon so you can live how you want to live? I'm Karen Isaacs, aging icon, and I invented the word patient advocacy. I've started hundreds of healthcare businesses for other people. And I've owned 3 multi-million dollar companies of my own. But things weren't handed to me, and I've had plenty of challenges. Even though the experts told me to throw it all away and do something else, I learned not to throw away the baby with the bathwater. Live like you wanna live. I always wanted to be on Broadway. I love to sing and dance and pretend, and I even took voice lessons from the famous Emma Foos, who was Toscanini's alto. I was the lead in my senior play, and then I got a scholarship, the Jacqueline Kennedy Scholarship, to attend college for theater arts. However, things don't always go as planned, and my father passed away the year that I started college. And so I had to go to work, and I was offered a job by my local dentist, and I learned to become a dental assistant. And I was very lucky that I had someone who told me that my job was to talk to the person about their teeth. And that started a whole lifetime of being someone who was a natural teacher, a coach. Unfortunately, in dentistry, I think in all doctors' offices, the only way to get ahead is to quit and go somewhere else and ask for a higher salary. So I moved into the administration side and then went to work for a health insurance company. And there I worked my way up until the vice president suggested that I become a consultant. I had doctors asking me, can I help them to start their own practice? And of course, to start the business, what do? You buy equipment, you learn every part of what's going on. I had to pick the locations, get them patients, get them business. And so marketing was a big part of what I got known for. And I even marketed a franchise. Once I had that marketing street degree, I started something called the Healthline Directory. Back in 1976, there was no participating providers, but I coined the phrase participating providers. I also had on the back of the directory an ad for myself, which said, if you don't see what you need in this directory, contact the patient advocate. And that was my direct phone number. So people would call me, they would tell me that they were getting fired because they took too much time off from work or helping a family member, and they needed help to find the right doctors. But eventually, the business became obsolete. Once insurance companies came on the scene with their managed care plans and their big books of all the doctors that said they would accept their insurance, I no longer had a role there. And so overnight, my multi-million dollar business was gone. So what do? Do you just forget about it and start something else, look for a job? I realized that I knew a lot about the healthcare system. I used the term that I had coined, patient advocate. So I became a speaker. I just let people know that I was available to talk to groups about how to be a patient advocate for themselves, how to advocate for other people, and how to advocate on a general basis for all seniors and people with disabilities. I continue to talk to people about healthcare and introducing myself as a patient advocate. But after a few years, people started to say they were advocates as well. And I realized that they did not do what I did. I did something very unique, especially because I had this background. They would say, I did it for my mother. I'm a patient advocate too. So together with other experts. And so we started a search to see how do we get some credentialing for ourselves. And that led us to start the Patient Advocate Certification Board. And in March 2018, I received my board certification, and now we have over 1,000 certified patient advocates. During this time, I realized that I needed to specialize. And I thought, who are my clients? Who are my perfect clients? The people who accept my offer, pay the appropriate price, and recommend other people. I like to be with people who were entrepreneurs. And unfortunately, something happened to them. They may have some type of illness, an injury, and there were many people who came to me who were in that position. I volunteered at places where there were people who I knew had money. I participated in as many organizations as I could find where people would be who had active, interesting lives. And then I took a leadership role. I would get on the board and eventually become chair of some of the organizations. I call what I do for my clients creating a lifelong plan. And I realized that I needed to do that for myself. So I started to reach out to coaches and mentors. And I was introduced to Scott Mason, who speaks about what did people do in the Greek mythological era. Everything old is new again. Things still happen the way they always did. And his philosophy is, what do you want your life to look like? Not what do you want your business to look like? How do you want your life to be? And then pull all those pieces together so that you can pursue it. Once I had that in place, I spoke to one of my mentors who said, oh, all your clients are icons. And I said, they're aging icons. Many of you may have heard of Action Takers Publishing. People were coming from all over the world. They would talk about terrible hardships that they had in their lives and how they overcame them. And from that came Action Takers Publishing. Action Takers primarily publishes collaborative books. And so I joined one of the collaborative books that just struck a chord with me because the title of it was Never Give Up. And my chapter is called Everything Old is New Again. And it's actually everything that I've been talking about to you today. I loved it so much to see myself in print, especially when we became an international bestseller. And I could now say, I am an international best-selling author. So now I've been writing my own book, and it's all stories of aging icons. The book is stories of my actual clients, along with submissions from the people who helped me to work with these clients. I hope this book will be able to help people in general when they are trying to figure out how best to help themselves to continue the life they want to live. Live like you want to live, give like it's never over, love like never before. Shining bright, you're an aging icon, just getting going, and there's so much more. Live like you want to live, live like you want to live, live like you want to live, live like you want to live. So as you see, I did get to sing again. My speech coach, Diane DeResta, introduced me to Lowry Olafson from Power Songs. He arranged for me to go to Manhattan to a studio and record the song that I hope will continue to get people inspired to be able to continue living the life that they want to live. And if this is interesting to you, if you know someone who has an exciting, interesting life that's been interrupted for some reason, please don't hesitate to contact me for a free phone call. Send me an email. I'd love to hear your stories as well. Live like you wanna.